away, we're gonna seize the day. We got some crazy games to play today.
Game Away!
Hey gamers, Nick from Game Away here to bring you my review of Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, the latest Nintendo Switch title that brings the most unlikely of crossovers between two icon franchises from their respective companies. Will this outlandish title set the bar for video game crossovers, or will the hate be triumphant? Let's find out. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is a game that I find crazy and never would have expected, or even wanted. When it was first shown off via internet leaks, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I thought Nintendo and Ubisoft had gone mad, and I initially hated the concept. It mashes up two franchises that couldn't be any more different. In a genre they don't belong in, I didn't even know if it could be done. But when E3 2017 rolled around and it was finally showed off, it quickly rose from being a game I might have bought used to a day one purchase. Out of the box, the game begins with the story of a prodigy inventor and her experimental headset that can combine two objects together. After some crazy story plot happens, the Rabbids and the residents of the Mushroom Kingdom are transported to an entirely new universe that fuses famous Mario imagery with random stuff from the real world. And the Rabbids are there too, having become enemies and allies alike. The game gives Mario and the crazy cast of characters guns and features a Roomba that guides the players through this chaotic world. If I had to describe this game in one word, it would be charming. Right out of the gate, you can feel the love the developers put into this and the reverence they have for the Mario franchise. Even the soundtrack has the love and care you'd think would come from Nintendo themselves. That's right. This game was created by Ubisoft and the creative director / Shigeru Miyamoto fanboy Davide Soliani. I'll tell you this, Davide, Senpai noticed. Ubisoft really took a few lessons from Nintendo to craft a wonderful and colorful looking game, and it doesn't just stop there. The game runs at a native 900p at 30 frames per second docked, and is decreased to a modest 720p when undocked to hold that 30 frames per second frame rate. Each world of Kingdom Battle is divided into several landscapes: grassland, iceland, and more, all of which are sprinkled with corrupted Mario items like POW blocks and bricks that are blown way out of proportion, crumbling and wrapped in underwear even. There are even references to past Nintendo titles and other trivia like these important dates on the Rabbids washing machine. Tell me in the comments below if you know what these dates represent. These hybridizations, constant gaming, and pulp culture references come together to create a world that makes you stop and admire all the little details. It takes all of these and wildly distorts them with the humor of the Rabbids to nail that theme of hybridization on which the game relies on. As Mario and Co. are going through the levels, there are cutscenes sprinkled at certain areas which may introduce new abilities and bosses. These are fantastically animated with careful attention paid to the detail of each character. However, I did find jarring animation glitches during transitions during scenes and gameplay on numerous occasions. Even with this small issue, it didn't hamper my gameplay experience. The weapons are a huge part of what makes Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle unique, and Ubisoft really got creative with these types of guns the Mario characters wield. There are some even based off various Mario characters and are even based off the many puns that this game contains. I'm serious, almost every weapon description is a pun based off the design. It's so bad, it's genius. Besides the well-crafted visuals, there's two important pieces to the gameplay of Mario plus Rabbids: Adventure Phase and Combat Phase. Adventure Phase is where you can get lost in this beautiful world to find secret areas, a circle of coins, and secret chests to unlock new gear and solve puzzles, while finding new allies and facing new enemies. Combat Phase rests on a very solid battle system, capable of offering depth in the mechanics and gives enormous satisfaction when the player masters it. The various maps that Mario and Co. will take turns on are generous and very inspired in their design, while the mechanics allow you to perform many attack and movement combinations between your team members. Each of the 3 allowed party members can do 3 actions per turn: move around, use a weapon between the primary and the secondary, and activate a character-specific ability. The 3 possibilities for each character will then require you to put in place a well-mediated strategy, taking advantage of the fact that one can switch from one hero to another at any time before the end of their turn. For example, Mario can strengthen the party's attack power before the other 2 have already used a primary or secondary weapon. Among other things, it's important to combine the movement of characters by jumping on one another so that you can reach otherwise impossible places to defeat enemies. To further deepen the clashes, there are several elements that I appreciated. In order to avoid standing out in the middle of the battlefield with guns aimed at you, it's very important to find coverage before the end of your turn, so that you will not be exposed to enemy attacks. The bricks and blocks can be destroyed if attacked a few times, and I've had the tables completely turned on me when a specific enemy destroyed my cover. To shake things up in battles, you will find different types of missions that will differ from your normal gameplay experience. These missions can range from escorting Toad to dashing to a specific goal to avoid getting killed. The difficulty spikes in Mario + Rabbids are insane. In my playthrough, some levels were a fair challenge and had me really thinking about my approach options that took advantage of the situation. Then, there were situations where I had to complete several levels in a row with no healing options and Rabbids that could deal massive damage. Levels typically take 10 to 20 minutes per, but I've encountered some that took me at least an hour to just survive. On the bright side, this allows for replayability to increase your ranking, and it appeals to completionists like myself. The various types of weapons that Mario and Rabbids wield vary in their forms, and depending on how they're used in each situation, will be crucial to your success. They come in 2 forms: primary weapons, which are the guns, and secondary, which consists of special weapons. Each weapon has its own stats and attributes, and sometimes even come with elemental abilities. For example, Mario uses the Blaster class, which gives him the most balanced weapons in the game with mid to close range shots. Luigi uses the Precision Rifle class, which gives him the most range out of all the characters at the cost of lower life points. Secondary weapons themselves are character specific and offer unique functions like the Sentry, which follows the targeted enemy endlessly until it finds them. Or the Rockets, which is a mid to long range missile that destroys anything in the surrounding area in one shot. With the elemental attributes, you can blind, burn, and freeze enemies in their tracks to give yourself an edge. These weapons and other character abilities can be purchased in the in-game store or unlocked via the skill tree, which is Mario + Rabbids Kingdom Battle's level-up system. Using battle orbs that are obtained in battle or the adventure phase, players can level up characters by increasing damage done to enemies or allowing them to jump off of enemies multiple times. With all of these well-thought-out details, there's one thing I felt was an afterthought: the multiplayer. There is multiplayer here, but it comes in the form of 2 teams of 2 local co-op. Each player takes control of 2 characters and you defeat enemies as you work together. While it is fun to easily introduce new players with this mode, it feels lazily tacked on, and I can just as easily switch controllers with a second person in the single-player campaign. Finding the right composer is a vital part of setting the tone in any game, and Ubisoft made the right decision to bring Grant Kirkhope on board. Mario + Rabbids Kingdom Battle's soundtrack needed to have a Nintendo feel, which Grant himself has a lot of experience with, but with the unorthodox air of the Rabbids. The live orchestra that's been used for the majority of the tracks are outstanding, and really shows how much love and care has been put into them. Here, take a listen.
In fear, while screaming, Mamma Mia.
Orchestrated remix from classic Mario and Donkey Kong games are as clear as day, and the original works are just as catchy. As with the gameplay, there are a lot of playful nods to older Nintendo titles sprinkled about. Being a fan of Grant Kirkhope's work, I was able to hear some of the tracks and go, oh, that little piece of music has the same note sequence as this certain song in Banjo-Kazooie or Donkey Kong 64. The sounds of shooting, jumping, Wahooing and bwahing are well defined and give each character and object a sense of individuality. I couldn't find anything bad about them, so fantastic job. The age-old question. Should you play this game? Yes! Mario plus Rabbids is a great game and has a lot of unique elements you simply cannot find in other strategy RPGs. Ubisoft puts all concern to rest with an amazing effort that hopefully paves the way for more collaborations with Nintendo. If you like turn-based strategy games like XCOM, Fire Emblem, and others, and do not have the burning hate for the Rabbids, then play this game. Do it now! Oh, hey! Thank you so much for watching my review for Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Hey! Stop throwing stuff! It's my stuff! If you like what I had to say, please share it around. Maybe YouTube will pay me to replace some of the things the Rabbids are breaking. Hey, stop! Get back here! Hey!